It was supposed to be a good day. For the first time in weeks, Amber Miles walked into school feeling like herself. She wore a soft pink top her older sister bought her after weeks of saving up. It wasn't expensive, but to Amber, it was more than clothing. It was a moment of brightness, a rare spark in a life that had grown far too heavy for a 16-year-old to carry. She held her head high as she stepped through the school gates, trying to ignore the stares. She wasn't the popular girl. She never had been. But today, maybe she could just blend in. Maybe today, she could feel normal. That hope vanished before second period. Derek Campbell, the boy with too much ego and not enough empathy, and his usual group of loud, reckless friends stood by the lockers, bored and hungry for a laugh. They'd picked on Amber before. Called her names. Mocked her for being too quiet, too plain, too weird. She never gave them the reaction they wanted. And that only made them push harder. As Amber passed by, trying to squeeze past the crowd, Derek grabbed the edge of her new top. "What's this?" he jeered, tugging at the fabric. "Trying to be fancy today, huh?" She pulled back, panic rising in her chest. But it was too late. With one cruel tug, the seam split across her shoulder. The soft fabric gave way. Gasps filled the hallway. Laughter followed. Amber froze. A part of her wanted to disappear, to cry, to run and never look back. But something inside her snapped, not with rage, but with release. Because what Derek didn't know, what none of them knew, was that Amber wasn't weak. Not anymore. After years of emotional silence, after being the girl who kept her head down through bullying and grief, she had started taking Muay Thai classes at a local gym just 8 months ago. At first, it was her aunt's idea, a way to help her cope after her father passed away and her mother fell into depression. But for Amber, it became more than that. It became power. Control. Healing. And now, standing in the center of a hallway filled with humiliation and fake laughter, she wasn't the scared girl anymore. She was ready. Derek turned to laugh with his friends. He didn't see her move. Amber spun, planted her foot, and launched herself into a flawless flying elbow, striking just beside his collarbone, knocking him backward into the lockers with a loud crash. Silence. Derek crumpled to the ground, winded and stunned, clutching his chest. No one laughed now. Amber didn't say a word. She stood over him, breathing steadily, eyes clear. She picked up her torn top with quiet dignity, then walked straight to the principal's office before anyone else could react. That day spread like wildfire. Some students filmed it. Others just passed it along through whispers. "Did you see what Amber did to Derek? She knocked him out cold. She's a ninja or something." But Amber didn't care about the buzz. She didn't care about the sudden attention or the nods in the hallway. She cared that for once, she stood up. Not out of anger. Not to hurt. But to protect her peace. There were consequences, of course. The school launched an investigation. Derek's parents threatened action. But several students came forward, students who had seen what really happened, students who had suffered in silence from the same boys and were finally ready to speak. Amber told the truth. Calmly. Clearly. No theatrics. Just facts. And the administration listened. Derek was suspended. His friends, too. A new anti-bullying policy was implemented that same month. And Amber. She was invited to speak during a school-wide assembly, not about violence, but about self-respect, boundaries, and finding your strength. Her voice trembled when she spoke, but her message hit home. "I didn't train to fight people," she said. "I trained to stop running." After that, things changed. She wasn't suddenly popular. She didn't want to be. But people saw her now, really saw her. Not as a victim, not as a punchline, but as a person who carried herself with courage. Some girls came up to her after class, thanking her. Some even joined her Muay Thai gym. She wasn't alone anymore. And even though her life at home was still difficult, even though some days were heavy, she had found something priceless, her voice. Amber walked through the halls now with quiet confidence. Same jeans. Same backpack. But everything about her had changed. Because the truth is, some fights aren't about fists. They're about finally standing when the world expects you to fall. About showing the people who try to break you that you are not made of what they think you are. Amber was made of fire, and they never saw it coming. Message of the story. Real strength isn't loud. It doesn't bully. It doesn't hurt others to feel big. Real strength is quiet, powerful, and patiently waiting for the moment it's needed. When you rise from humiliation with dignity, when you stop hiding who you are, that's when the world finally sees the fighter inside you.